What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Scoop with Coop. I'm Coop. How y'all doing out there? All right, so I'm reviewing Love and Hip Hop episode 8. So let's just get right into it. All right, so the show started off with Mimi and Stevie J. So they just left not just left, but they had the counseling session with Dr. Jeff. And so now they're having a little family outing to the park with Stevie J, Mimi, and their daughter. She's a cute, adorable little girl. And so they was talking about the counseling session, and he's saying, that was a good thing for him of hearing what Dr. Jeff was saying, that he didn't want to be a liar anymore, and that so he was thinking, so they can all work together, that him, Mimi, and Jocelyn go to the counseling session together. And at first, Mimi was like, for what? I'm not having that. But she was like, I'll think about it. Okay, that was that. Then it goes to, then Jocelyn and Carly meet up together. Carly wanted to clear the air with Jocelyn because, every time they get together, it's always, some kind of drama or something. So Carly, Jocelyn sits down. She's like, hey girl, how you doing? And Carly was like, I just come to you so we would stop butting heads since we're going to be doing a song together, or whatever. And Jocelyn was like, no, we ain't doing no song together. She was like, what are you talking about? She was like, Carly, I'm not doing a song with you. And Carly was like, well, what you think management gonna say? She was like, I don't care what management say. Stevie doesn't manage me. You can work with Stevie all you want to, but I'm not working with him anymore. Of course, she done said that a million times. So Carly was like, what's the change of heart? And she was like, I knew y'all was messing with each other. And here goes Jocelyn again. You didn't see us doing anything. So how do you think that we were messing with each other? Whatever. So Carly was like, well, guess who I'm messing with? She was all happy, like, woo, yeah, girl, you won't believe who I'm messing with. Me. And she was like, who, girl? She was like, Benzino. She was like, you messing with Benzino? She's like, yes, I'm messing with Benzino. Her eyes lit up. She was just all giddy and, ooh, Benzino. And Jocelyn was like, well, you in love. And she was like, what you mean to my, because your eyelashes was bad. And Jocelyn was like, you're going to treat him right. You better treat him right because he a man or something like that. And I'm like, what? Because he a man? Wait a minute, what? But the funniest thing about that scene is when Jocelyn was in her confessional. And she was like, Carly, she kind of fake. She from L.A. Them girls be like, hey, how you doing? I fell out. That was hilarious, Jocelyn. But anyway, next, Rashida goes to the studio to meet Lil Scrappy because he wants her to get on a song. And, Bucky was in there, being a video chick, looking like a video chick. Whatever the song was. What was the song? I forgot. But anyway, Rashida walks up in there like, what is going on? Well, she didn't say what was going on, but you could tell by her demeanor. And she was all like, hey girl, how you doing? And Rashida was like, hey. When she hugged her, Rashida was like looking at Scrappy like, what in the world? So, Shay was like, or Bucky was like, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and handle, y'all doing a song together. So time she walked out, Rashida was like, what in the world is going on? And what is she doing here? And what's his name? Lil Scrappy was like, that's just my friend. And she was like, I'm friends with Erica. Meaning, I'm going to go back and tell her what I just saw. Because they kissed on the lips and everything in front of her. And Rashida like, what in the world is going on? So they did a little something, whatever. That was that scene. Okay, then it goes to then Benzino get Carly a photo shoot for what is it? Hip Hop Weekly, because that's his magazine now. And she was after the photo shoot, she was saying how grateful, thank you for giving me this photo shoot. You are the pieces to my puzzle, and here's a puzzle piece. She gave him a necklace with puzzle pieces, and they just like woo, they in the meadow running to each other, baby. They just like, oh, we're so in love, and oh, baby, I love you. Yes, yeah. Come on now. I'm happy if they are in love or whatever. Well, next episode, it ain't too much lovey-dovey going on. But anyway, next, the beginning of the show, it wasn't all that. But, I'm just going through the scenes. Okay, so since Rashida did the song with Lil Scrappy, Lil Scrappy had his mixtape released at the Pearl Bistro. And sometimes I go there and they had a line. There don't usually be a line at Pearl Bistro. They did that all for the cameras. Because you usually just get out your car and walk on in. And so they did the performance, and Rashida was slinging the hair. Yeah, okay. But people was like, it wasn't that many people there. Well, let me tell you, Pearl Bistro is not that big. So all those people in there, they probably filled the place up. So yeah, that was Pearl Bistro. It's a nice little chill spot, but it ain't big for a whole crowd of folks. But anyway, so at the mixtape release, Rashida was telling the girls, which was Ariane, Mimi, and K. Michelle, that, about Shay being at the studio. And when they was talking about it, Shay and Lil Scrappy walks in. And here goes Shay, Bucky again to Rashida. Hey girl, how you doing? Rashida is not your friend. but after they left, K. Michelle was like, I felt some kind of way about Bucky and Lil Scrappy. So she felt that she had to go and tell Erica. So people was on Twitter was like, I think that was real messy of K. Michelle to go back and tell Erica. I think it was messy for Rashida to tell the girls. But I feel that K. Michelle was being a friend. Because if Erica found out that they knew about it, she gonna be like, okay, y'all was supposed to be my girls, why y'all ain't tell me? I know, a lot of girls like, don't tell me. A lot of people were saying that on Twitter, but they know if their friend knew that their man was messing with somebody else or was somewhere with somebody else, they would want to know. I know I would. But anyway, what else? Mimi and Ariane, they was just talking about the counseling session, and Mimi was like, she's down for Jocelyn coming to the counseling session. So that's all that was. And then, okay, this scene was really touching with Mimi going to finally, be able, after the counseling session, to be able to go and throw her mother's ashes in the river or ocean or wherever they were. I mean, it took her 9 years, granted, but some people, it does take a while because they're attached. They don't want to get rid of it. That's her mom, even though she had, all the Scientology thing with dealing with her mom. But, one person on YouTube that I watched, he was like, it took you 9 years. Was that really your mom? I'm thinking, like, if that was your mom, if that was my mom, I couldn't just go right away and throw her ashes. It might take me a couple of years to, come up to that point to where I can throw her ashes, throw it in the water. Because, that is hard when you lose a loved one like that, and, their wishes is for you to throw their ashes, in the water. So that was real touching with her and her brother. I want to know how old her brother was, because at first he looked like George, what's his name, George Clinton? Funkadelic Man. But yeah, because I was like, stop it. I'm like, is that George Clinton? Is that her brother? But yeah, I just thought that it kind of brought me, I got a little teary eyed just a little bit because, that was a little touching scene. So, now, Kirk and Rashida goes meet with Auntie Deb. And already I could tell in Kirk's face, he was not feeling it. He was like, okay, let's go. Because I feel that he was doing that for Rashida. Or he wanted to see, let's explore our options then. So he was in there with the like, okay, whatever face, all right. And Auntie Deb ripped him a new one. Because she did not hold back nothing. She said Rashida is underground, she's dirty, she's nasty, and what are you doing, basically? And Kirk like, well, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be popping underground like she is. She wouldn't have sold the most, I guess, mixtapes underground if it wasn't for me. So he was like, I'm not really trying to hear what you're saying. And I kind of felt bad for him because Auntie Deb was going like, she was holding nothing back from him. Whew. That lady scares me. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, let's see. Oh, Benzino and Stevie J, they met up because Benzino met with his jeweler. He was going to buy Carly a piece of jewelry because she bought him the puzzle pieces. So he was looking at all these pieces and they bring out the box. It was a ring. And it was a pretty nice ring. And so he told Stevie J what he was planning to do, saying that he's ready to take that next step. And I did hear an interview with Benzino saying that before they got on the show, he met Carly. So I guess they played it into it. So I guess they was already dating when the show started and they just made it play out. I guess, I don't know. But it's still, I know the show only take for like a couple of months. And you ready to propose to her already? I mean, he done gave her a key and everything, but he is moving too freaking fast. Like, I know you up in age and you ready to settle down, but good Lord, really get to know the person before you're ready to pop the question. But anyway, all right. The main event, what everybody has been waiting for, is the therapy session with Jocelyn, Mimi, and Shady Grady, Stevie J. So, Mimi and Stevie J went first to the see Dr. Jeff. And they was talking about, what has progressed since the last time I saw y'all. And Stevie was like, I'm trying to do better, and be better and all that stuff. So Jocelyn walks in and she don't even know why she there in the first place, but she went. So she's in there like, hey, Dr. Jeff, how you doing? Oh, not like that. Hello. I can't do her accent. But anyway, they go, Jocelyn goes to talking and Stevie, looking at her, and she was sweating on her nose. So he goes to, wipe the sweat off her nose. And she was like, thank you, baby. And so, Mimi like, for real? And Dr. Jeff like, wait a minute, what just happened? He was like, what in the world was that? How you in here saying, you trying to work this out and get with Mimi and be with Mimi, and you over here patting her nose? And he was like, well, she sweats on her nose a lot. So I wanted Mimi to chop him in his throat so bad when that happened. Like, for real, dude? Like, for real. You gonna wipe her nose in front of me. But Mimi didn't need to do that because Jocelyn did it for her. Because they was fussing. I forgot what Jocelyn said. But Mimi was like, no, she said, so y'all two supposed to be back together? She was like, yes, we're living together. And she was like, so y'all living together? And then the bell rung. Ding, ding, ding. Round one. And so she didn't say nothing. She said, oh, y'all living together? She sat there for a minute, thought about it. And she said, wow. Man, it didn't really connect. But if she would have connected with Stevie J, oh my God, she really put them paws on Stevie J. Because she was swinging and then she latched onto him and was... Security already knew what was going down when Jocelyn was coming in that therapy session. So they was already on deck, ready to break it up. So Jocelyn, I feel bad for her because she was really hurt. Mind you, she said Stevie just came to her house 2 days before they went to the therapy session to come get some nookie. And yes, I would have been mad too. But Jocelyn, she was really hurt. She was crying. She was pushing everybody. She was football moving everybody, tackling everybody, and get out her way. She kept hollering, "Let me go, let me go." Even Mona Scott had to come out the woodwork to get her. She even pushed Dr. Jeff out the way. That girl was like a raging bull. And she was mad. And all she saw was red. And the red was on Stevie J. Because Lord knows she was like a woman scorned. And I kind of felt bad for her because she was really hurt. That girl was really hurt. And what is Stevie always, whenever he leaves somewhere, he always walking. Like, do he not drive? What? Do he not drive? And during the fight, Mimi is funny because during the fight, she was just like, they was like all up on it. She was just like, she always had that look when something going down. Like when Carly and K. Michelle was on. When Carly flipped the table, she was just like, Mimi, because if it was me, I would have got up and moved. Security had to move Mimi out of the way. She was just sitting there like, hit him for me. Yeah, one more time for me. Get him again, girl. Get him again. You should have, if they would have jumped him, oh my gosh, that would have been it. If they would have jumped him. But you know what? Jocelyn didn't need no help because she used to be a stripper. She had that stripper, you know, them strippers be fighting. They be fighting over their money, everything else. I don't know. But she just had like I this is what I do. I've been fighting all my life. What's Oprah name on not in Living Color? Color Purple? Sophia. Like Sophia. All my life I had to fight. That's how Jocelyn was fighting. All her life she had to fight. So she was putting them paws on Stevie J. I wish the security didn't break it up so soon, because if security didn't break it up over, if security wasn't there, Jocelyn would have walked the dog on Stevie J. I really believe that. I really do. But anyway, I can't wait till next week. That's the review for today. Because next week, I was wondering when they was going to bring back the K. Michelle and Memphis drama. And her and Rashida, I guess this is when their friendship went sour. Because the rumor is that during the taping of the reunion show, K. Michelle and Rashida got into it. They say they came to blows, but I don't really think they came to blows. But I'm kind of believing that some words might have been exchanged or something, because Rashida said in the preview, "I really don't feel like he did that to you." You know, people can change, and I don't know. I don't really think this girl is making this story up about Memphis, but people can change. He probably went through that phase like, I don't care about women, I'm just gonna beat up on them, and he matured, and so he got with Toya, and you know, I guess he's not about that life anymore. But I don't know, because when I look at him, I don't see that. But you never know what goes on behind closed doors with a person. So I can't wait till next week. So thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Please comment. Please thumbs up. Hit that like button. And follow me on Twitter at ScoopWithCoop. And I hope everyone enjoy the rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.